A magnitude 7.1 earthquake has struck the Tibetan Plateau on the border between China and Nepal. The death toll currently stands at 126, but there are concerns about further damage due to aftershocks.
중국과 네팔의 접경지인 티베트 고원에서 규모 7.1의 강진이 발생했습니다. 현재까지 사망자가 126명으로 늘었고 여진으로 인한 추가 피해도 우려되고 있습니다. 제가 이걸 보고 제가 예전에 여행을 바로 이 지역에 다녀왔어요.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was like 20 some years ago. I took a bus from Kathmandu all the way to Lhasa.
Oh, okay.
So I actually we drove through this region.
So you're familiar.
So I'm familiar and I saw the houses and I can imagine why there was so much damage.
Yes.
So 정말 티베트에서 강진이 발생했는데 얼마나 큰 지진이었나요?
Like you said, yesterday there was an earthquake that occurred. It was 7.1 in magnitude, and it was even felt in Nepal and India, so it was very large. And like you were saying about the houses, because of the way traditional Tibetan houses are made, they don't often do well with earthquakes,
Oh, yeah.
especially ones of this size. So there has been a lot of damage both to the buildings, and there has been quite a bit of casualties, unfortunately.
네, 정말 여러분 지진을 7.1 규모이면은 정말 어마어마하게 많이 이게 damage가 피해가 큽니다. 왜냐하면은 제가 미국에서도 6.3 그것도 we weren't at the epicenter. We were removed and still things broke. So when you're kind of at the center of this 7.1 magnitude earthquake, it is massive.
Yes,
Yes.
it is very massive, but that is not the only thing they are worrying about. They do think that the main earthquake has passed, but there are still a lot of aftershocks.
Aftershocks.
Yes.
네, 여진이죠. Aftershocks.
Yes, they're saying there are about 500 aftershocks per day. 하루에 500회 정도 여진이 있대요.
You're kidding.
Yeah, so
Wow.
there are a lot of aftershocks while they have already started this rescue work. So they are still trying to make sure that they can keep damage as low as possible, but they expect, unfortunately, that the damage and the death toll,
Yeah.
which we currently have at 126, they expect that to grow a bit.
이 지진이 그만큼 큰 지진이면은 옆에 있는 지역들이 많이 느껴지거든요. 그래서 이제 네팔, 인도도 느껴졌다고 그랬잖아요. That means that was like a huge earthquake.
Right, yes.
Right? Because it extends all the way. But the big one is gone.
They do think it's over. And this area does have a history with big earthquakes. In 2008, there was one in Sichuan
Yes,
province in
yes.
China, and then one in 2015 in Nepal. So those,
카트만두에서도
Right.
지진이 있었고요. 그렇죠?
yes, so there were a lot of these earthquakes that have happened in the area, and they're just taking as many precautions as they can to keep as many people alive and safe.
Yeah, you know, earthquakes are very scary. I've experienced several in Los Angeles. 그래서 LA 같은 경우, 뭐 일본 같은 경우도 이렇게 건물을 지을 때 they have strict regulations. 나무로 많이 지어요. 왜냐면 이렇게 흔들릴 수가 있으니까. Instead of crashing down.
Right.
But still, if it's a big earthquake, it's going to cause damage. Let's look at this word magnitude, 규모죠, right? The magnitude, usually when we talk about earthquakes, we talk about how big was the earthquake. Right?
Yes. This magnitude can be used to talk about how strong something was,
Yeah.
how big something was. And it doesn't have to be for kind of things in our physical world, like an earthquake. You could also talk about the magnitude of an issue, a problem.
Problem,
So
that's
that would be
right.
kind of like the importance, the 중요도, like how important is it?
That's right. So usually we use this word a lot with, don't you understand the magnitude of the problem? 이 문제가 얼마나 큰지 아직도 모르니? 막, it's like the importance, the seriousness, also the size of something.
Yes. So in this case, we are talking about earthquake magnitude. So it's the 진도, right?
Right,
We often
진도.
use like the Richter scale to talk about it.
Right, right. Okay, so let me read that again. A magnitude 7.1 earthquake has struck the Tibetan Plateau on the border between China and Nepal. The death toll currently stands at 126, but there are concerns about further damage due to aftershocks.